All right, welcome everyone to the Solana Community Validator discussion, January 18th, 2024. Kind of a packed agenda today, a lot to get through. So we've got validator updates, notification about a validator educational workshop. Right after that, there'll be a community-led validator call next week as well. So look out for back-to-back events there. Marinade is here. They're going to talk about protected staking rewards and I think potentially something else. So Marinade will be presenting. And then after that, Scale 3 will be presenting their platform. They've been on the call before, but they've added a lot to their platform. So looking forward to seeing more of that. And then open discussion after all that. All right, let's get into it. So first of all, mainnet is on 117. Hooray. Thank you everyone who upgraded and basically helped us get to this point. A lot of testnet restarts and operator input went into that. So big thank you everyone. As a reminder, FeatureGate activation will start up again next week. I believe there are still 116 features to activate, so the version floor won't be raised right away. But the sooner, RPC operators especially, the sooner you can upgrade to 117, the better. I think before January 29th is a good time frame to update your fleet if you have not done so already. As a reminder, 117.16 is the recommended version for mainnet. Missed one there. Testnet, nothing really happening right now with testnet. 117.16 is still the recommended. 118 will likely be cut next week, and assuming everything goes well, will be the recommended version for testnet. Again, thank you to all the testnet operators who restarted, upgraded, downgraded throughout this whole process. Really helps to test new software before we roll it out to mainnet. Quick announcement about a validator educational workshop. So on the 24th next week at 1800 UTC, Will be doing a presentation on just validator state that you need to know in order to kind of understand your validator better. So he's going to be going over RocksDB, full and incremental snapshots, accounts, account indexes, and the tower. All state that you have on your machine when you're running a validator, but maybe you haven't poked around or really figured out what they do, or kind of like what can go wrong. So Will's going to be going over that. Is Will on the call? I don't see him. Yeah, Will's not here, but should be a good call. I encourage all of you to join. Immediately after that, at 1900 UTC will be the community-led validator call. The agenda is up here, I believe. Yeah, the meeting link is here as well. I'll post Discord notifications about all of this, but definitely go check out the agenda and check out this call. A little different than these calls, they tend to get into more details about stuff they're organizing in the future, like Block Zero, which I strongly encourage everyone to attend, and just other topics of interest. Sorry, I saw Chris send a message there. Oh, okay. Chris can't hear. People can still hear me, right? Yes, okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so definitely would encourage people to attend that as well. Again, this is Wednesday next week, back to back. So there'll be the validator educational workshop and then the community-led validator call after that. All right, without further ado, I'm going to kick it off to the Marinade team. They're going to be talking about protected staking rewards. So let me stop sharing and let you take over.
Hey guys, I hope you can hear me and you can see the presentation. I'm LJ, I'm here on behalf of Marinade, and we want to introduce to you what we are building this quarter, a product called Protected Staking Rewards. So when stakers come and want to stake with Marinade, or more often the other way around, we come to some potential stakers and ask them to stake with Marinate. So, we can then distribute the stake to validators. The large custodians have issues because we don't do KYC, and they need some sort of form of risk management. And that's what the protected staking rewards is all about. The thing is that if large custodian stakes with some validator, there is often some private deal. So, for example, when the validator is down, is not making rewards, there is some over-the-counter settlement. And what we will be doing is making this on-chain. So there will be no need for private deals. There will be no need for KYC on Marinate side with validators. And it will still be possible for large custodians to stake with Marinate. And also, this will be another way of introducing some skin in the game for validators. So our algorithmic staking can have easier time deciding which validators to stake with. So today, when validators, for example, want to exit the cluster and want to stop running the node, they have no good way of informing us. But this is also like one of the tools to make this possible. So what we are asking validators to do is to configure what we call a bond on chain through our CLI. There will be a link to that CLI in chat soon, I hope. Can you, Serba, please share the link? Configuring the bond on chain, it's not committing. It's just a single account created. There is no funds in it except for the rent exempt fee. And it's just a mark on chain that you as a validator want to participate in the system. Then later, I think in 2 months from now, we will ask you to deposit some stake account as part of the bond. And then if you have some downtime and you have Marinate stake, the deposit would be charged and it will be shared with all the stakers. Well, just to give you a better idea on how exactly this works, let's take as an example epoch 542. We are actually running the simulation of how this would all work for the past 30 epochs or 2 months. So this is a good example. At this epoch, this is the list of validators who had most downtime and had some Marinate stake. So as you can see, let's say 30% of epoch, this validator was not making any rewards. This hurts our stakers, and this is the reason some custodians would not be inclined to stake with Marinate. So if something like this happens, and there is some validator with a downtime, there will be automatic charge of the bond. So the rewards that were lost for our stakers would be refunded from the bond. That's the red part. The yellow part is what Marinate would pay. There is an idea that we would have some like grace period for validators, few hours within an epoch, which would not be covered by the bond, but would be covered by Marinate instead. So it's also Marinate who has skin in the game, and the risk is shared between the validator and Marinate as well. So technically, what's happening under the hood? Every epoch, we take a snapshot. The snapshot contains credits earned by validators, stake accounts, the activation status of that, supply and inflation. And based on that, we can calculate what the expected rewards for each stake account would be and what the actual rewards will be. So based on that, we can calculate the claim that should be or like the amount that should be withdrawn from the bond to refund the stakers. Then this will be pushed as a Merkle root on chain. The bond would be split because it's not like we would remove all SOL from the bond. We would just remove the part that is going to be claimed by users, and users could then claim permissionlessly. So this is both for liquid and native, and whatever would be left unclaimed would be returned back to the bond. So back to the validator. Important question is how much are we talking about, right? When we talk about refunding stakers of Marinate and what it means to validators specifically. So I had a look at the data, and for the past 2 months, or this is slightly over 2 months, I accumulated all the claims from the bonds that will be done for all validators that Marinate stakes with. So this is top 10. The first two validators are validators who exited the cluster. So we would charge basically one whole epoch full of rewards because Marinate got nothing out of the stake accounts. The third one, there were some significant downtimes, and then the list goes on, and there's more than 10 validators who will be affected, but most of those will be affected by one or less SOL over the period of 2 months. So I would say good job to validators. I think this is a good result. But this part, like these top 10, is what's making some stakers uneasy, and they would rather choose staking with, I don't know, Coinbase for whatever reason. What's the timeline on this? So since the 1st of January, validators can create an empty bond. Empty means that there is currently no way to fund the bond. And there's no need to fund the bond at the moment. During February, it's 2 weeks from now, Marinate plans to launch a beta version of the delegation strategy. There's going to be plenty of changes. I think, actually, this is not public yet. We are doing announcement of this part probably tomorrow. So this is some. Okay. So this is going to be announced tomorrow, but don't worry about it. At the middle of February, Marinate will have eligibility requirement that validators need to have a bond set on chain. So still, it doesn't have to be funded. It just has to be created on chain as a record that you are interested in participating. In March, when all the audits of the contract are done, validators will be able to fund the bonds. And still there will be no charging. We will just run it in the dry run. There will be some Discord feed with list of validators who are kept by the bond size. There will be feed of the potential charges that we would make if this was activated. And then end of March or maybe start of April, the bond size will cap how much stake a validator can receive from Marinate, and the charging would start. Another question we often hear is how much or what size of the bond should validators choose. It's quite simple math. So we want to be able to refund the stakers fully. So if redelegate is live, we expect that we will be only losing at most 1 epoch worth of rewards, which is basically 22 SOL per 50k stake. If redelegate is not live, it has to be double because there is like 1 extra epoch of downtime for stake if we need to rebalance it. These are the links that I will post in the chat. And I don't know if there's like time for questions and answers, Tim, but this is it for the presentation.
Yeah, thanks. I think we have time for questions. There's a few in the chat, so if you want to go through those, or I can read them out.
Oh, sorry. These are in Sol. That's a lot. I'm not sure what it is about.
I think that was referring to the chart you showed about the past 30 epochs.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if we stake 50K with some validator and he's or the validator is turned off, for example, even the cluster completely, that's loss of 25 Sol. So yeah, that's a lot for the stakers. Paid by Marinate. Well, yeah. There is going to be a grace of few percent per epoch, which will be downtime. That if validator has this downtime, Marinade will use its own treasury to cover the costs of the downtime for our stakers. So basically, we will airdrop some SOL to the contract, and only after a certain amount of downtime is reached, validators will be charged from the bond. The bonds will accrue value. Yes, it's going to be a stake account delegated to a validator. So every validator participating having a bond, having a funded bond, will have a stake account delegated to themselves. And that will be the source of SOL. So, it will grow over time. Will Marinate take obligation to stake SOL in one epoch? No. I'm sorry, there's really nothing we can do about this at Marinate. This is mostly limited by, let's say, redelegate not being present. We can only rebalance some portion of the pool every epoch. And for example, if there is multiple unstakes, like recently people unstaked, let's say 200,000 SOL, there is not really like where to take the stake to delegate. So again, we have to wait. We have to unstake something, restake. Will this be the standard for Marinate stake delegation? The bond will be required, if that's the question, to receive Marinate stake. Protected stake accounts. Yeah, so every validator will have their own stake account.
Maybe I'll clarify that. So do multiple, so I'm trying to figure out if the stake from multiple delegators gets mixed together in any way, or is it always kept separate?
You mean like for when we evaluate how much there should be claimed from the bond?
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if, so are validators receiving protected stake from Marinade, correct?
Yeah.
And then that protected stake comes from a single
Oh, I see. So we will
address
have
or
like,
multiple addresses?
yeah, it will be like multiple stake accounts because there is one stake authority for Marinate Liquid contract, and there is one stake authority for Marinate Native. But in Marinate Native, we have currently, I think, 8,000 users. So there will be 8,000 different withdrawal authorities for Native. So all of those stake accounts will proportionally, to how they contribute to the overall stake, be able to claim.
Okay, I think that partially answers it. And then the rest is probably too detailed for this call. So I'll follow up with the outside of this. Thanks.
And there's going to be some article. I think we can also link that in the chat.
Do you mean the rollout plan?
Yeah, there is the link in the chat, guys, and there is a rollout plan, so you can all see that as well.
Got it. All right. Yeah, if there's no other questions, I think we'll transition over to scale 3. Yeah, shout out there to join the Discord if you have more questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Tim, and the Solana Foundation team for organizing this. Really excited to share a little more about Scale 3. Just for context, Scale 3 is a quick refresher. We're a Web3 infrastructure platform. We help you deploy and manage your blockchain nodes and validators. We were the team at Coinbase that was running infrastructure across 40 different protocols. So definitely some experience doing this and also always learning. In terms of a couple things that we would like to share today, one, we're excited to announce that we did receive a grant from Solana Foundation to build support for the Solana blockchain network. And we're excited to announce that that support is now live. So we've launched that support for Solana node operators, staking validators, and dApp developers building on Solana. And so for the purpose of this conversation today, we're going to actually walk you through the platform. So I'd like to tag team our CTO and co-founder, Karthik, who will share screens and walk you through it. Karthik, over to you.
Thank you, Jay. Can you all see my screen?
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity once again to the community for giving us the stage to showcase our product. So this is our platform today. Once you sign up, you need to do a couple of things to one of the couple of things to derive maximum value out of our product. So if you have a node that is already running on any of the existing infrastructure that you have set up, you can link that node to our platform. And once you link that node up, you will see the observability stack that we bring up for your node, which includes a metrics dashboard, a logging dashboard, as well as a bunch of alerts.
Karthik, I think you just went back on mute.
Karthik, you're muted.
Yeah. So you can link your validator node or a full node to our platform and bring up like a provisioning, bring up a observability stack, which includes a metrics dashboard, logging dashboard, and a bunch of alerts. Or you can also set up, you can also connect a cloud platform like AWS or GCP or Azure or any other bare metal providers and deploy full nodes through our platform directly onto your own cloud. We don't deploy it to our cloud, but to your cloud through our platform. Today, we support deploying full nodes, but we are also rolling out support for deploying validators. So let me go through a quick demo of our product. So like I said, the first step is linking or deploying a node. So you just hit link, give it some name, select Solana from here, select the network, select a platform. This is like selecting the platform is purely informational. You can choose to, if you don't wish to show what platform you're running it on or what version you're running it, you can just give it some dummy values. Select the node type and create configuration. So once you create a configuration, the next step is to onboard your node to Scale 3's platform so you can see the metrics and logging dashboard. The onboarding is pretty straightforward. In most cases, if you're already running a Grafana agent, all you need to do is tweak your Grafana config to point to sending metrics to our platform. And similarly, for the logs dashboard, you just provide the path to logs. And once you generate the configuration, again, we use Vector in this case. Vector is an open source log streaming tool built by Datadog. So if you wish to download Vector directly from the official source, you can feel free to do that. And once you install Vector on your node and set up the config, it will start streaming logs to our platform. This whole process takes about 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes. And once the node is onboarded to our platform, you will see something like this. So this is a node that is fully onboarded to our platform. So as like I mentioned, you will see a dashboard. And shout out to Chris from Chainflow. We are leveraging the exporter that was built by Chris and the dashboard. So we bring up this dashboard. We also have like the system monitoring dashboard. This is all like fully hosted and validated monitoring dashboard as well. Like I mentioned, we also have support for logs, live tail logs. So you can see the logs streaming, and by default, you have 1 week retention policy. But if you need additional retention policy for these logs, we can set that up. And the nice thing about these the logging platform is, let's say something's going wrong with your node, and you want to share the logs with someone else, either through Discord or some other platform. You can just set up the timestamp of the log messages you want to share with the team, and once you set it up, you just hit share, and it will generate a link. And this link is a read-only link which gets copied to your clipboard, and then you just open it up. Like the person looking at this link, they don't need to even sign up to the platform to see this. They can see all the log messages directly for this particular timestamp. And once you're done with it, you can deactivate the link by going to the settings. Finally, we also have support for alerts. So you can set up alerts on the metrics dashboard as well as the logging dashboard. So these are the alerts that we have support for, and these are the integrations that we have: Slack, PagerDuty, Opsgenie, and Telegram. And again, for log alerts as well, once the logging, sorry about that. Once the logging is set up, you can set up alerts for the like pattern matchings and whatnot. And like I said, you can also deactivate shared links through the node settings over here. So this is all of this is brought, like this entire stack is brought up as soon as you link your node. Along with this, we also have alerts for validators. So you can set up additional alerts on validator specific events. Like say, for instance, let me show, like you just select create alert policy, Solana, enter your vote account address over here. And once you enter it, you can set up alerts on some of these metrics. So just turn it on, and you can also set it up on different channels. And you will see all the alerts over here. And whenever there is an alert, you get alerted on email, and you can also see it in platform. So this is for linking an existing validator node. Like I mentioned previously, we also have support for deploying deploying full nodes through our platform. So you just hit deploy, and let's say you name it full node Solana, and select Solana, select the network, full node, and you could, like, you can also vote for deployments to validator, which is already planned. We are working through it. Today, you can deploy nodes on the major cloud providers, full nodes, and this is like an AWS account that we use internally. So you just hit deploy, and this is how much it's going to cost you for running the node on AWS. This is not how much you're paying us. So this gets deployed on your cloud. You fully manage it. It comes up with the observability stack, the metrics, logs, and alerts. So once it's deployed, from that point onwards, you get to manage and maintain the node from that point onwards. So that's the deployment. So this is a fully deployed full node. So it says ready. You can you can SSH into your node and use it for whatever. And finally, we also have some updates from the ecosystems. So today we have support for many different chains. But let's say you want to see the support for Solana, you can set up. You can select Solana, and this shows all the latest software upgrades from the Solana ecosystem. It has like the release date, description. It has a category, priority, whether it's breaking or not, things like that. And we also have some ecosystem updates that are posted on Discord and other places. And you can set up alerts for these things as well, similar to other things. So you can set up alerts on different integrations. There is also something called bookmarks. Like you can add a bunch of bookmarks and mark it public. And when other people sign up to Scale3, they can also see the bookmarks that were added by you. So it's sort of like a community-driven thing. And finally, we have something called Node GPT. Here you can ask questions like, let's say, select Solana from here. One sec. Solana. What is the latest stable release of Solana? It'll bring about a response. So you can also ask it to describe the latest release, and it tells you some details about it. And one other thing that I missed mentioning is the Copilot mode for logs. So we have something called Copilot mode. So you go to the logs and turn on Copilot mode. Here you can select a bunch of log messages. Let's say you don't understand what these log messages actually mean, and you're trying to debug something. You just hit analyze. It's not. I wouldn't say it's 100% accurate, but it's getting better. Sorry, one sec. Let's try this again. Pilot mode. Yeah, so so we have basically trained it over the code base of the Solana client. So it gives like a first triage report as to what could be happening around that code from which these log messages are being emitted. It gives you some description, and it also gives you some action based on the log messages. So this sort of gives you like a starting point towards your debug process. If you're already aware of it, feel free to disregard using Copilot. But if you don't know what exactly is happening, you can try this out. But that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to show, but happy to answer any questions. Yeah, day-night modes you can toggle. So this is the night mode, and this is the day mode. And if you think you need access for, like if you think there is a feature that's missing and you really want it, you can hit request a feature from the top, and you can add a feature or you can upvote on features. And if you need support, you can directly reach out from the platform. We actively monitor it. So
Yeah.
do you need new data in the LLM? So the questions are asked. Yeah, so we updated almost every day just to stay on top of things. And if something's missing, we make sure there is also a job that runs behind the scenes, constantly updating it. And the data is sourced from GitHub, Discord, Twitter, and many different places, all the open places. Aside from Grafana Exporter and Log Exporter, what other software must be? That's it, like Grafana Exporter and Log Exporter, that's all. No other software needs to be installed. We for the server access, like if you want to deploy nodes, we do have to store the SSH keys, but we do encrypt them. We are also SOC 2 Type 1 compliant, and we are also undergoing a penetration testing at the moment as we speak. So we store it securely. But if you want to just deploy it once and remove that, you can also remove it from the platform. So you can basically go to the platform section and click delete on the connected platform. It will remove it from our thing. Yeah, 3 weeks, we understand. We can increase it if you like. We can go up to 3 months or even 6 months. For now, just keeping it 3 weeks. We are flexible on the log retention, yes.
Thank you, Karthik. Just wanted to add one more thing, right? The blockchain intelligence piece that Karthik mentioned and showed there, right? There's a lot of rich API connection you can do and map to whatever channel you want to get feedback on with regards to just understanding what's going on with Solana ecosystem. If you want to alert on a particular validator, those are important data to have on the go. Our goal is to make this platform easy to use as a supporting feature for whatever else. We know Solana validators are highly technical, they know what they're doing, but it's a value add product for you to just leverage to get quicker respond, know what's going on, use as a sidecar to doing your job that you do daily, particularly when there's issues or you're trying to troubleshoot. This platform can really help doing that as well.
Great. Any other questions for the Scale 3 team? All right. Thank you for the presentation. Looks good. A lot of cool features. So thanks again. Check them out. Yeah, now we'll open it up to just open questions, topics anyone wants to bring up. Somebody? All right. Well, if there are no questions, we'll call it there.
For
Yeah,
scale
quick.
three-
There's a question in chat real quick about the pay structure, I guess, for scale 3.
Yes. So for scale 3, it's free to get started. So you can basically link your validator, your node, if you're running one of them. So that's our free forever plan. And then we have another tier where if you're running up to 3 nodes, you can basically link that up. It's $100 a month. Our enterprise plans, which are running for more than 3+ nodes or want customization on like the log retention, we can create a custom plan for you. So one thing I'd also encourage is we're actually happy to give away 3 months of enterprise access for anyone on this call. So feel free to sign up, reach out to us through our platform, mention the Solana community call, and we'll upgrade your access as well.
Yeah, there's a question in the chat about the community-led call. That is next week on Wednesday. Again, I put the agenda there in the chat. Okay.
And a quick note on that. We're going to try and do it the 4th Wednesday of every month moving forward to have some consistency. So hopefully that is a good time and day for everybody for that call. So we'll start next week on Wednesday, like Tim said. Thanks.
Works for me. All right. Thanks to our speakers. Thank you, Marinade. Thank you, Scale 3 team. And see everyone in 2 weeks.